Rob Gronkowski signed a deal. He signed a deal with WWE, and they say he's going to be showing up on Friday Night SmackDown. Well, I don't know now.
I don't know.
But they said he was going to be, I was reading today that he's going to be showing up on Friday Night SmackDown and getting him ready for a match later on, in the year, not Mania or anything like that. But what do you think about Rob Gronkowski signing on to be a WWE superstar? He said now this thing is not going to be full-time. He's not going to be a full-time wrestler or anything like that. But what do you think about a few shots? Kind of like Lawrence Taylor, he's the most famous football player as far as I'm concerned, that went out and literally did such a great job and put the football players over and made those guys look real good coming into the wrestling world. What do you think about Rob Gronkowski actually going out there, and what do you think his chances are as far as being, somewhat successful?
Well, here's the thing. I think that I agree with you, and LT has been the biggest name thus far to be in WWE and compete in a wrestling match, let alone main event WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Main event WrestleMania.
Yeah.
But I think that Rob Gronkowski probably rivals LT in as far as a player who's well-known in popularity in the sport, former Super Bowl champion, obviously, with Tom Brady. Yeah. He's a marquee name. So from that perspective, I think it's a huge get for the WWE. I think it's a massive signing.
I think he's today.
For sure.
He's today's, LT.
And no disrespect to anybody, but it's not like Tito Ortiz. And I say that to say, Tito, we talked about, it's past your prime. Rob won Super Bowl, 2 years ago? He's coming off of, fresh from Super Bowl championship contention, still at a top level as far as athletically. And here's the other thing. Always been a dynamic personality.
Character.
He's a character, man.
Yeah.
And when he did that spot at WrestleMania 33, I think it was, or 34, one of the two, where he came into the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and knocked out Jinder Mahal to let Mojo Rawley win. He looked good.
Yeah,
I mean, it was one spot. I mean, it's not a huge thing, but he looked good. He looked good doing it. He looked like he fit. He looked comfortable. He's a lifelong fan, so he understands the product, at least from a fan perspective. So I think that he can succeed, especially if it's a limited role.
Well, just say, for instance, Mojo needs some backup. You know what I mean? Mojo's on a slide. He needs somebody to actually buffer him, to actually, perhaps get in that winning position. I don't know. It could be something like that, or he could end up turning on Mojo and beating the crap out of him, and he becomes the big star. It's so much potential there to be. I kind of like it. My thing is this. Rob, if you really honestly true, look here. I know they got the performance center down there. I mean, I know they got, thousands and thousands of square feet. They got a ring down there that's like a superior water bed. You can jump off the ceiling and just fall in the middle of it, and it just sucks you in. You don't feel anything. They got all of that, man. But if you really want to get, the proper tutelage, I'm talking about the expert tutelage of Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, the Phantom of the Opera. I'm your guy, man. Come down to Reality of Wrestling and hang with me for a minute, and let me just, I don't want to train you. I just want to teach you a little bit of something. And it's a vast difference between learning how to wrestle and being taught the arts of professional wrestling. So, Rob, I'd love for you to come down and train with me, man. If you got the time, yeah.
I think that's a great idea. I co-sign that wholeheartedly. But I think that him doing something. I mean, think about SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Rumble.
Yeah.
I really don't see an issue with it. I've always been a fan of celebrity involvement from certain perspectives. I think when you go back to like Mike Tyson, even Floyd Mayweather, Lawrence Taylor, there's been a lot of great celebrity involvement.
Yeah.
And
David Arquette.
There's been a lot of great celebrity involvement in the WWE. And I think that
Jay Leno,
Jay Leno,
crazy,
that was WCW.
Been a lot.
But when Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone,
yeah.
I mean those were great times. So I think that Rob Gronkowski is a great pickup for WWE. It was all over the news everywhere. Jerry, you're nodding your head. What do you think about it? I know you're more of the football guy than the wrestling guy, so tell me.
I don't know why, but I remember one of you guys calling this a while back about how it would make a perfect match, and I think that he's the guy that I would put in there. If you could say one guy, man, pick one guy, retired or not, I'd pick Rob Gronkowski myself. I think he's perfect for it. does he need maybe a little bit of sharpening? Yeah, of course, like anybody would get in the ring. But I think the actual, like you said, the mantra that sits around Gronkowski, it's there.
Well, I think the also thing that benefits him is he's an athlete, right? I mean, you see some celebrities come in who aren't so much of the athlete, and it doesn't come second nature to them, sort of like a Jay Leno or a David Arquette, and I'm sure there are others that I can't think of right now. But when you're athletic and you're used to, contact, and you're used to getting hit, and used to, taking a bump or two on the gridiron.
Stephen Amell.
Stephen Amell, yeah.
He did pretty good.
He did good. But I think that Rob can do really well. I think he can excel. Rhonda, she came in, obviously she worked a full schedule, and she was doing house shows and TV and everything, but her first performance was very impressive. And I think that if you put Rob in a similar situation where he doesn't have to do all the work, you got a tag match of some kind, I think that he can definitely hold his own and put on an entertaining performance.
Yeah. I think one thing that he brings to the table, first and foremost, is star power.
Yeah.
First and foremost, he brings a huge fan base.
Right.
So when you bring in somebody like Rob Gronkowski, you got to know how to showcase him and showcase him properly. Otherwise, you can just lose on that whole deal.
Right.
Somewhat like when CM Punk went to the UFC. Now,
right.
be that as it may, whatever happened at the end of the day, but they brought him in right. They put a spotlight on him. They made it look like, man, this thing here is finna blow everything up out of the water.
Big signing.
Exactly. So to bring Gronkowski in and to put him in the right position to go out there and succeed from the beginning is very, very important. That's why I say, man, what he have in his head, his thought process is going to be very, very important. Going out there and trying to figure this out almost like on-the-job training. That's what this is for him. This is, because they got to hotshot him. He's not a guy that you can send down to the performance center and have him down there for a year expecting, him to become, a great scientific wrestler or something like that. I don't think that's what we're looking for here.
Yeah.
But if he can come into this thing having the right, foresight as far as what he's, it's like with certain wrestlers come into my school and they're, say for instance, 6'8". First thing I'm gonna say, look, man, you see all those guys over there doing the drop down leapfrogs. We're not going to learn any of that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not going to be doing any of it. So for him to have the right thought process going, because he could be one of those guys who think, man, I want to get on the top rope and jump.
Right.
Oh man, I can't wait to do a big dive and splash,
Right.
And that's definitely not what we really need him to be thinking. Now, if that's something we can pull off in a certain match with, the certain amount of, protection properly, well, of course, but, a guy like Gronkowski, he's a guy that I'm going to be looking to protect because he is a guy that's going to be drawing a certain fan base that, perhaps, perhaps we can use. So definitely, put him in a right spot. Put the rocket on him. Send him straight to the moon, and let's make some long green ducats. Hey guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame.